Hello everyone, this is ETH Dragon, and welcome back to another episode of Fire Emblem Heroes. So, from the last episode, we made it to tier 27, and we just got rolled this week. Pretty expected because it's my usual setup, and it has so many problems with it. It's a very linear defense. Like, the most obvious thing someone could do is, say, use Regan to snipe down Duma, and then just leave. And of course, the meme play after that is Elwood just getting danced by Mirabilis to have a decent range. But I intentionally also have these structures up so if people want to, they can just hide their units behind it so the Elwood thing doesn't even do anything. It's pretty bad, to say the least. But this person decides to just go in and use their duo skill, but of course I've already told you what's going to happen, so it should be no surprise that Elwood can reach here. And it's again, it's not like it's not predictable. He's literally the only melee unit that doesn't have an assist, so it's pretty clear he's going to move first, and no matter where he moves, he's in range to get danced by Mirabilis, so it's very, very straightforward. But yeah, it was just a roll fest this week, and not much we can do about it until I figure out an idea for what I want to do. Because again, during Astra season, I still don't really care about offense and defense. Defense is just, I still want to do the meme Duma defense where I just have like 5 Dumas in one unit just for the memes. Again, it'll be similar to this defense if you're prepared any little bit. It's a pretty easy steamroll. But if you're not prepared, your entire unit takes, what is that, 35 chip damage from upheaval. You lose all your structures that can be broken. And yeah, fun stuff like that. But yeah, in reality, if you just have a somewhat competent team, it shouldn't be scary. But we encounter a lot of common top end teams that are used to destroy lots of teams. This person didn't even need to go in turn 1, but they did it for the tactical sack to be nice, I believe. Because of course, again, they don't need to do this at all. Wait, was this a tactical sack match? I think it was. Because yeah, they don't even need to use their duo skills here to beat my team. They can just use them if they want to clear in one turn. But it's like, yeah, it's not necessary. So here they intentionally do this so Julia can pick up the kill. And Olivia's never going to dance because she does too much damage. So that way they only lose 1 unit, and then they can just tactically sack. And again, Olivia can't kill, so they're just free to hit end turn again, and it's just over. Nothing too special there. Yeah, the extra tactical sack was appreciated. Of course, again, most of these people don't need to do that, but here we go. This is pretty much like this week was pretty much a bunch of the strategies I will run into in a nutshell if I do actually try and build a decent defense. So you got to consider it. And the biggest consideration for me is if I want to invest into a plus 10 duo hero to use them on defense, because I know just having one is better than having none. I also have to upgrade duo's hindrance if I want to do that, and I kind of haven't even built it yet, so it's gonna be a while. But yeah, at this point there's nothing we can do here. This is what is this, 61, 66, 73, 79, 82, 85, 88, 91, 97. Yeah, 97. Yeah, 97 attack. And of course, joint drive attack isn't even there. So like, you know, The main reason why Altina is really solid as a unit in terms of damage output is because she gets the auto double. So any buffs to attack really scales up her whatchamacallit, really scales up her damage compared to just like a unit advanced standard, like, I don't know, broadleaf unit who's trying to vantage. She gets to attack twice, so especially like dual peony buffing +6 with Bond of the Alpha or however you pronounce it. That's a lot of damage going in. And of course, attack res unity. It's very easy for her to creep something like chill attack. Well, I guess it's not easy, but if you do get debuff, like say Mirabilis is on Anima defense, and she debuffs attack, which would buff Altina's attack. So there's a lot of considerations there. But yeah, just overall pretty easy steamroll. I would expect people using Winter Altina to beat my team. If they can't, something's wrong. That's all I'm saying. If they can't, something's wrong. I wonder actually what would happen if they didn't run or use the duo skill. What would happen? That would be interesting to see, I guess, but it would probably be a similar result, to be honest. But here, I'm not sure if they were just going for the what they were going for here. I mean, I guess I do know what they were going for, but at the same time I don't. Because, of course, you can definitely calc that Brave Hector doesn't kill Ellawood. It's very difficult to one-shot a bunch of units nowadays in Ether raids, even if you have the weapon triangle. So, you know, Wings of Mercy is going to go off. So, I don't know if this was intentional to do the intentional one-unit sec. This one's a bit more suspicious. I feel like it was more of an end turn play after a hit and run to activate the team. Because, of course, Brave Hector is just going to survive here. But like here, Legendary Julia does a decent amount of damage. But of course she just can't survive that many hits. So I really do feel like for Dark Defense next week, since we're going to Vault of Heaven, I might try going on this map. Even though I'm just going to get destroyed by people hitting end turn on the defense tile. That's really what's going to happen. Or just people just nuking the entire team in one turn. All the standard stuff, like, it should happen. But I feel like there's probably some merit for this map for my particular Dark Season setup. Because the problem with my Dark Season setup is there's no synergy at all, basically. It's just a bunch of units standing somewhat around each other, somewhat similar threat ranges, including dance. It's not very good, to say the least. And here we've already watched this replay. It's just solid shenanigans here. Like, they brought 3 units here who can take out the entire team with good execution, but, you know, why bring 1 when you can bring all 3? But yeah, of course you can't change your teams once you start a match or like go into a match, so you know you kind of don't have that option. But I'm not sure why you would need all 3. It's like I would personally think Brunya or Brave Hector. I could definitely see running like dual in with one of them so you can have some player phase damage output. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I definitely like Legendary Julia on defense, it's just that I don't have a special for her. Even if I did, Pulse Smoke happens, and even if that happens, I just don't. The team just does not have enough synergy. It's very basic shenanigans to do the bare minimum. The only point of it, of course, is to minimize the amount of lift I lose when I get rolled, because I am going to inevitably get rolled when I climb. It's just I climb using as much lift as I can, or ether as I can, so I'm inherently going to get up to a high tier, and because of how the matchmaker works, once I get high enough of a tier, I'm only gonna get matched up randomly against people who also are in comparable tier levels, aka you have to be able to score that high in the first place to actually be up there at that specific day. So it's a bit jank in that respect, but here's just Elwood not doubling like usual. I mean, this is a speed res solo. Of course, speed res solo wasn't even active. There was drive speed though, but my Elwood is plus attack because he just doesn't double anyways. What do you have doubled here? Let's see, 45, 52. No, it's not even close. Larshell had 49. She also had ally support. It wasn't even close. Wait, is it max? Yeah, I would assume it's max ally support, but just gotta be sure. But yeah, it's just like I don't have any. I would probably run a setup with using ARD skills because ARD skills are pretty solid in terms of mileage, because even if you don't get the max effect of plus 10, you still get plus 7, and that's pretty respectable. And even if they break a ton of structures, for one, that likely requires a few turns, so people have to exchange that balance, or manage that balance between breaking structures and managing your turns. You still get like plus 5, which is better than Fury 3. Of course, Fury 3 technically trademark helps whatchamacallit, helps go into Wings of Mercy range, but Blazing Durandal technically kind of makes it hard for units to make a follow-up attack, so, and I don't know. I don't know. This is a kind of a mishmash team, but I mean, if you execute well, it should be fine, kind of a deal. Not sure what I want to do. I was thinking maybe moving Elwood over to Dark Defense, but I don't feel like that's going to do very well because on Light Season, I see a lot more like Brave Hectors and whatnot. I feel like Kemp for Dark Season would probably be better if I were to use a melee cav. Because of course, as we've seen in many of our previous replays, my team does not lack damage output if they manage to attack. The problem is they either don't get to attack, or they don't get to attack enough. That's a constant problem. Here they barely managed to kill Legendary Julia. I don't know if they kelped it, but to be honest, I don't think it really matters too much. Unfortunate, but that's why Sturdy Impact would generally be better for her. Mirror Impact's more for like against, I don't know, dual Alphons, where he's just not going to do a lot of damage to Legendary Julia. Unless he's like super decked out and buffed. Have we already gone through all these replays? It felt really fast. I guess because all the matches end very quickly, but you can see a common theme of people bringing some specific duo units against my team. But it's like, even if I had Duo's Hindrance in a good spot, again, with my current setup, you don't even need that duo skills to win, so it's like, Of course it would require slightly more thought, but honestly it's not even that much more thought. If you play it right, that's the thing. You have to balance between how well does the player have to play to win versus how brain dead do you have to play, I guess, in a sense. Because you can't necessarily assume that the opponent's going to play somewhat logically. Like, they don't need to do their daily damage calcs or anything, but understanding like super basic AI movement, that melee units without assist move first, for example, if none of your allies are in range and stuff like that. but even that, like, some people don't even know that. So it's like, how much can you assume the enemy player knows, and how much should you prep for? Because reasonably, you're never going to engineer a defense that can beat literally everyone on offense. If you could, then, well, we would be seeing that defense more for obvious reasons. But that doesn't exist. So the whole point is, if you're going to engineer a defense that does pretty well, you want to counter the stuff that shows up a lot. And for me personally, we've been seeing quite a few duo units, or just end turn units, very common, like Brave Hector. Brave Edelgard, not so much, but even then, Brave Edelgard, in my opinion, is kind of meh for offense. Maybe she might be good for player phasing, but I would probably just use Legendary Edelgard at that point, but then she's bound to Fire Season, so there's a bunch of nuances there. But there's end turn, there's Vantage, so one thing is you should be able to cover for commonly used mythics, like Astra Season. Regan's a free unit. She has Kanto, hit and run's quite viable. It's Brave Bow users, like Legendary Leaf during Water Season. Or of course we have Dual Lin. As you saw in that last match, they just ran away. They could have nuked my entire team in one turn, or left someone alive who couldn't kill my units. But they just ran away because there's no dancer, so there's absolutely no way my units could have gone to attack. So yeah, I'm trying to think about what I want to check, because I kind of feel like I still want to use Infantry Pulse, but Infantry Pulse is just very weak, because if you don't get to use your specials, then things go downhill real fast. But if you get to use your specials, and they're pretty strong specials, you can do a lot of damage. You can kill some of the best tanks in the game if you get enough strong hits in with somewhat low HP units, so they can't heal back as much. But yeah, it's a toss-up. I think I definitely want to check end turn, though. That's definitely the most canned strategy in the book. Just bringing a tank and hitting end turn. Definitely will think about that. But for now, my main plan is changing my Anima defense to a meme Duma defense, which means we're just going to lose a crud ton of lift, of course, but it would be funny just to see how people play against it. Maybe we can see other people's offense teams, because that's the thing. I'm pretty sure a lot of players aren't like me and bring more than one team, so it'd be interesting at least. And Arena Assault's a bit close this week, but from my experience of doing Arena Assault or top 1K Arena Assault for many weeks, I already knew that this was likely good enough, unless people got super lucky. A bunch of people got super lucky and fished high scores. If we don't make top 1K, so be it. I could have fished more. I literally just did one run this week. Ended up having to use a Panic Charm, though, because I goofed on damage calcs, because I just forgot that rallies exist for some reason for one match. I don't know why. But anyways, enough rambling. We'll be back when the results drop in. Alright, surely everything should be out by now. Top 10K seems solid. Yeah, not... So next season here, we're going to be pretty strong on offense. We won't necessarily do well, but we have the scoring. Can score up to 208 lift a match, and because Sothis is bonus. I was thinking I tried making a layout here. It's not very good, but we're gonna meme with triple infantry pulse and times pulse for one cooldown miracle. Although even when she's bonus, she can get one shot, so if people do that, that's fine. Or they can also just double her. That's another thing. Because column 3 bolt tower is just gonna wreck her, because she's not gonna vantage kill anything with, what's that, 67 attack? Yeah, no. When she's bonus, not even close. So yeah, we're not gonna worry too much about that. Haven't decided if I want to use Divine Tearfing or something else, but I think we're going to stick with Divine Tearfing for the heck of it. And yeah, we're just going to get rolled. We're going to get rolled on defense, but we're just going to have fun doing whatever. Because our max lift loss is capped out at -30. And that's basically all I can ask for, because we're gonna definitely face a lot of strong, decked out players that kinda know what they're doing, so I'm not gonna be expecting much out of my defense, so I gotta kick this out. I'm gonna put in Dark Shrine. I honestly want to move from column 1, but the problem is I use columns 2 and 5 as a smite position so much. So that would probably mean like kicking out Panic Manor. And unironically, Panic Manor is useful, but maybe I should. But we'll regret life decisions later, because column 1's particularly useful. Let me see if I can show the idea real quick. I think it's on... not Springwater. What map is it? It's either Abandoned Castle or No, it's Spring Breeze. So on Spring Breeze, some people put their fortress here, and then they have like Cav line or something, or just units that put pressure on this side. So if you want to approach from this side, it's only from this island. Usually they also might have units pressuring here, so setting up is difficult. Or on Springwater, there's this terrain here. Sometimes it'd be useful to smite up a flyer up this left lane, but from here instead of here, because depending on how the enemy's set up, of course. But there's a lot of instances where having a structure in column 1 is not great, but we're just gonna try this out for this week. Not expecting much, intentionally designed to be kind of bad again. Because, for example, someone can just go ahead, if they have a strong ranged unit, tanker, like even though Bramla and Krom both get Luna up turn 1, they can just go ahead and hit end turn here and bait them, because Bramla's going to get danced by one of these dancers. Neither dancer can reach Sothis or Seliph, so it's gonna be hit and run fest, or hit end turn on the defense tile and just phase tank everything. I do suspect it's just gonna be hit and run fest. That should be what happens. I would be genuinely surprised if people will decide to hit end turn here. They can tank it, of course. Like, my units don't do that much damage to actually murder units, but yeah, we'll see what happens. So this is just here literally for the lift loss reduction, because if we just quickly go into test defenses to look at stats, because why the heck not, we're already here. Like Sothis, her speed isn't terrible, 60, but auto doubles just absolutely shred her. She does not have enough bulk on my defense, because I'm not running like 4 distant guards or something like that one other defense. Yeah, and she also has basically no damage output, because we're running Miracle for the memes. I'm contemplating about putting Wings of Mercy on Bramon. I think it might be useful, because that'll allow us to do some things. But here, let me just end turn here just to show what happens. There we go. I'm also thinking about removing Chill Attack on Nils and running... I have a plus HP copy, I feel like, merging into the plus HP copy, but then I'm thinking about foddering for like Infantry Pulse or even Pulse Tie as well, so that's why I haven't done it yet. But I might want to get 2 cooldown Ignis on Seliph, so he has a slightly stronger player phase. But yeah, I'm considering Wings of Mercy on Bramamon, but it'll make him significantly weaker because low attack res doesn't exist. So it's much easier to one-shot him, and he does much less damage because people can buff their res. So I'm not sure about that. I think I'll give it a try, so I'll have to change that out after the video here. But I'll be using the same offense team you saw there. It's the standard mean team, even though it's water season. We could be using like Crom or stuff to make our red matchups like 100% easier than trying to use Nino to murder red units. You know, if we were actually trying, we would probably build a slightly better single team. Because, yeah, as we've seen in previous episodes, it has to be pretty rigged in our favor for us to beat red units, and even some green units. So, team's got a lot of work ahead of it next week, but all standard results. And let's not forget to collect allegiance battles. Also top 1k. So we're chilling. Yep. I'll probably give Bramon Wings of Mercy. I think it'll help them get a kill because, you know, maybe Miracle Sophis actually does something. I don't know. It'll help Bramon get into action faster, I guess. But of course, people are gonna use Milla. They're gonna use Milla probably on column 5 on Crom and Nils, I would suspect. That would be my guess, but we'll see what people do. But anyways, that's gonna be it for this episode. Thanks for watching. As always, this is Ether Dragon, and hope to see you all next time. Bye.